podcast contain graphic language. What's going on out there, MGTOW? What's going on out there in sales? What's going on out there in the manosphere? You're right here, KDR Podcast, one of the hottest shit on the block. And the block is hot like butterscotch. Believe me, it's fucking hot as hell out here in the Pacific Northwest. Everything's going down to hell in a handbasket. They talking about all kinds of nonsense and bullshit and global warming and all kinds of shit. I don't know what's going on, but it's fucking hot. It is hot. Check onto the dome out there. It's so hot. It is so hot. It is hotter than the devil's balls out here. Unbelievable. My apologies, man. To be honest, I'm a little stoned and shit like that. I got the fan going, but not really because I cut it off. I cut off the fan so the sound can sound better, but I'm still here. I'm just putting this podcast live stream out here. Anyways, so if this is your first time out here in the podcast, this is what I do. I do a little bit of introduction, meaning that the intro music and shit like that, and I wait for the fellas out there on a global scale because believe it or not, this little podcast right here in the Pacific Northwest is globally. It is globally, man. From you name it, out there in Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Ireland, all these motherfuckers out there, they listen to this shit. Not only that, out here in the United States, from Texas to California to Alaska and so on and so forth, right? They listen to this shit. So let's go here and start with the intro. Here we go. And it's late. I know it's late and stuff like that. Here we go, gentlemen. My bad, man. I'm digging in on the staff here. I want to keep these podcasts like briefly and stuff like that, you know. But I do want to discuss a topic that I mentioned it like years ago on my first channel, and then my first channel got banned, and then the second channel got banned. So this is my third channel. So. But I predicted this scenario. Not so much a scenario, what is taking place. Don't mind me, I'm just smoking a little bit of cannabis before I get to the live stream. Alright. So let's settle down here, boys. Let's settle down. Let's settle down here, for heaven's sake. Let's settle down. Let's do some sound effect and shit like that.
Headshot. Come on.
Oh. Oh, my favorite one. Hold on. I am so immature. But anyways, you know, in the MGTOW philosophy, we talk about don't get involved with single moms. Do not get involved with single moms. Do not get involved with chicks and stuff like that because it's a trap, right? It's a trap, meaning be not get involved, right? Avoid the traps, all right? Especially when it comes down to the sperm nowadays. It's different back in the days. Now it's more. I don't want to get too much in semantics and be conspiracy theories and shit like that, but I read shit. I read shit. I know what's causing a lot of things when it comes down to the reproduction of men and women. You know, I'm not naive and shit like that, you know. But this thing going on with back in the day they used to call it stealing men's sperm. Back in the days. Oh yeah, back in the days. And not too long ago, you know. Different athletes and shit like that. Uh, these chicks out there back in the days, they wear condom, and if you don't get rid of the condom properly and shit like that, they will hijack your sperm and they get pregnant by themselves. That's how the game's played. It's like that. It's being like that. No bullshit. I made a video about this gentleman out there. He was a sperm donor. Had like 170 something kids and shit. Right? Being a fucking simp ass bitch. And all he did, donate his sperm and stuff like that. I made another video. We saw the gentleman donating sperm and created I don't know how many trading out there and shit like that. And this was like 4 years ago when I made this video. And I thought to myself, these men are fucking crazy. They don't understand the law. They don't understand how this thing work and how this shit gonna come back to them and shit. I did follow their story briefly. And this was just idiots. I don't know. I don't know what these men think. I think it's like, oh, I'm gonna repopulate the earth and whatever, and have my DNA. That's what I think. I think, you know, I don't know. Matter of fact, I did follow a story, and they got this Netflix documentary regarding to this matter, and I watched this like last year, and all these kids they were looking for the. Matter of fact, it was on a Daily Mail. That out there in the UK, he produced like 100 and something kids and shit like that with his sperm and stuff like that, and then did a documentary about it. And I thought to myself, hey, I remember reading this shit. And there's different individuals doing this in different parts in the world, especially in the Western world. And this was like 5 years ago when I read the article, and then it came to like a sort of like, I think, a Netflix documentary or some kind of documentary that I saw regarding to this matter of one in particular getting out there and having like 110 kids by donation of sperm and shit like that. But I digress. This is was like I said previously, 5-6 years ago when I read this article and shit. Moving forward to how we living right now, and I think this is just a good thing. But you also have to think about these fucking simp ass bitches out there. You know, this simp man. I'm gonna play you an article out here by the Daily Mail. Tim Pool, he put a video out there with his article. And I talked about this shit years ago. I was very detailed when it came down to my videos and stuff like that, you know. Now I don't have the liberty or the free time to be how can I phrase this? Critique and stuff like that. I really don't. But I want to play somebody here that Tim Pool put the article by the Daily Mail. And I'm gonna be like, I'm trying not to express myself too much due to the fact of this platform. They love censorship, and I'm trying to like hold back on my conspiracy theory or whatever, right? You want to call it. But the desperation for women is getting real. Before I play you this article, this is my theory. Yeah, they got the neighbors out there. I'm in the hood. They got the neighbors out there fucking around and drinking and shit. It is what it is in the West Coast. Let them kill each other. I don't give a fuck. You don't come over here, we cool. But anyway, the desperation has become so drastically when it comes down to these sperm donors and stuff like that. Oh, back to my collective thought that that I don't want to talk too much in this platform because due to the fact that I have to hold myself, right? You know what? Fuck this shit. All these bitches, they're desperate for sperm. All right. Now you have to look at some data and shit like that after the pandemic took place and stuff like that. Well, before the pandemic took place, women were doing their own thing. Okay, so they were doing their own thing and shit like that, and they can do at least for the last 15 years or more, right? They can do whatever they can or whatever, right? And shit like that, right? I ain't mad at those chicks, right? I'm not mad. They can do whatever they wanted. That's what feminism giving them empowered to. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at those chicks. Who gives a flying fuck, right? But once they hit the wall and they 30 and above, and all of a sudden they want to have children, which that's unheard of within the last 40 years. You're not supposed to have children in your 30s. You don't. You have children when you're in your 20s. In your 20s. You know? Oh, everybody want to be... I see these millennials. They 30 something. With a fucking toddler walking around the stores and shit like that. And the mentality is like... It was like, I don't know who implemented this bullshit to these motherfuckers. But the mentality was like, I'm going to wait till I'm late in my 30s to have children because I want to be stable and shit like that. And be this and be that. And it's nonsense and bullshit. It is, man. First of all, you don't have to wait age to be a parent. You can be a parent anytime. Right? The younger, the better. Why? You're young. You're full of energy. You make mistakes. You do this shit. You do this shit. You do this stuff. You're a young parent. You don't know what the fuck. It's not a manual out there and shit like that. Raising kids is not a manual. But the younger, the better. To be real. Now, we got all these millennials waiting till they 30 and stuff like that to have children and shit. And this article is going to tell you how these fucking face fucks waited so long. Not only that, they waited so long to become a parent. Now, they waited into their 30s and they had this pandemic out there and people got vaccinated and this vaccine is causing side effects, especially with men's sperm and women eggs and issues and shit like that. I got to be real about this shit, man. This is not a joke. I'm not here joking shit. I'm a philosopher. I see how the world works or not work. So now I'm going to play you this soundbite out here by the Daily Mail. How these two lesbian chicks and shit, not only them, but it also is couples looking for male sperm on the dark side, on the dark web, on the dark shit with Facebook and shit like that. Desperation. And these people are weird. They fucking weird. Why are you searching sperm shit on the internet to get pregnant and shit? They're weird. But then again, I think to myself, is this motherfucker going to the bar and just like, or whatever, any social event and stuff like that, with especially chicks, if they want to get pregnant, they can bamboozle a man in any time. But I guess obviously men are getting, see, I look at this article, but I thought to myself, this is a great fucking news, man. Especially for men. This is a great fucking news, man. Men, I'm not falling for this bullshit since the last 45 years or so. They're not falling for this shit. They're not falling for, oh, let me fill you in, fill me up and shit. The whole thing, when I read the article and come to my conclusion, with me as a content creator making videos about this matter and stuff like that, right? My conclusion at the end, I say, you know what? Man, I'm not falling for this nonsense. Some men, some simp, what we call simp ass bitches, they follow this shit and they, and like I always say, throughout my videos, right? Men have an intuition. Not only that, a lot of men in the Western society, they knew somebody who got fucked and burned by the system. Either the uncle, their dad, their brothers, their cousins. Somebody got fucked in the shit. And they were young enough to see these situations with marriage supposed to be until death do apart and shit like that. And they learn. These motherfuckers they learn. They're like, hey man, fuck this shit. Fuck. I saw what my cousin did. And he got married, had children. I saw what my dad did. And shit like that. Or my brother and stuff like that. And man, learn from their mistakes and shit. And not only mistake, but they learn they learn one thing. The court system is fucked. Bottom line. These motherfuckers are learning shit. So I'm optimistic about this shit, right? I am. See, when you have all these skink ass bitch and all these simps donating sperm and shit, they can get pregnant. You know what I say to myself? Fuck them. Fuck them. And those fucking cockfaces donating sperm because they want to donate sperm, they simp ass bitches too. So I digress. Bear with me, gentlemen. Just bear with me. Because my collective thought goes different ways and shit like that. So, back to the topic in hand, gentlemen. There's a desperation to getting male sperm on the dark web, according to the Daily Mail. Not me. I didn't make this shit up. I had a clue some years ago it was about to take place. Bear with me on the sound quality. I'm not here in some fancy studio with surround sound and shit. You can hear my neighbors out there hollering and partying and shit like that. That's how it goes. I'm on the West Coast. It's Friday night, Saturday night. That's what I do. So let's do this thing here. And forgive me for the low quality of the sound, but it is what it is.
Exposed. Wannabe moms too poor to afford $30,000 IVF are being lured into having unprotected sex or forced to meet men they met online in parking lots to swap semen samples. Published by Daily Mail. Have you had a child after a Facebook sperm donation? Email caitlin.tilly@mailonline.com. Women desperate to have children are being lured into unprotected sex as part of a growing industry of black market sperm donation. The rise in same-sex couples and aging mothers has caused the price of a round of IVF to rocket to up to $30,000 in recent decades, leaving many unable to afford to go the official route. An increasing number of would-be parents are turning to a Facebook group where men offer to donate their sperm for little or no charge, but these often come with demands. Many only agree to natural insemination, sex, or partial insemination, where the man masturbates and penetrates the woman just before ejaculation. For women who refuse sex, the alternative can be just as humiliating and unsafe, with some meeting in parking lots, hotels, or even Starbucks bathrooms to exchange samples. Experts say unregulated sperm donation raises the risk of STIs, which could leave a woman infertile or with an unviable pregnancy. In 2017, Stacey I. Nicole, 32, and her wife joined what is now the largest sperm donation group in the U.S., Sperm Donation USA. At that time, it had around 5,000 members. Now, it has almost 24,000. Ms. Nicole and her wife were about to embark on their fertility journey using a sperm bank. But when one of their close friends conceived using the Facebook group, they decided to give it a shot and save money. Once the Kentucky couple found someone willing to do artificial insemination, AI, the couple called their donor when Ms. Nicole had a positive ovulation test. They made the 4-hour trip from Kentucky to Ohio to meet the donor and his wife in a casino parking lot to receive their first sperm donation. Ms. Nicole said, "We met in Ohio at a casino, which I would never encourage anyone to do. He basically put his donation in a cup and handed it to us. It was very weird." She said, "His wife was very nice, but I'm not even sure how they got the donation. We know they were in the car, but I don't know if her saliva might have gotten on it. It was very rushed. It was not professional at all," she said. Ms. Nicole's partner inserted the sample into her with a syringe. "I laid my seat all the way back with my legs up, for the 4-hour drive back to Kentucky. No one would have known this was happening in the car next to them while driving." The process did not result in a pregnancy, and the couple decided to use a different donor from New York who came with glowing reviews from other members of the Facebook group. And this donor shipped his sperm in the mail. Ms. Nicole conceived on 2 separate occasions, but miscarried both times. She plans to use the second donor until she becomes pregnant after being impressed by his service. The donor that actually got us pregnant, he'd never even asked for money. He just shipped it and it had an ice pack in there. He even put gloves and a syringe in there for us. In 2017, her donor had fathered 87 children. Now she speculates he has over 200 offspring. When asked if this was a concern, Ms. Nicole said, "Honestly, no, not at all. Because even though you're not going through the sperm donor bank, I just feel like it's the same concept but an easier route." Methods of sperm exchange vary. Artificial insemination, AI, involves a donor providing his sperm in a cup or shipping it to a recipient and is usually favored by women in the group, while natural insemination, NI, involves a donor ejaculating inside a recipient during sex. Married father Damien, 30, a donor from Logan, Utah, has contributed to 43 successful pregnancies using artificial insemination. He told DailyMail.com he strives to donate ethically, and if he were to stop, recipients might have no choice but to choose an NI donor, be scammed out of money, or contract an STD. He has 4 children with his wife, who is supportive of him donating sperm because her sister has struggled with infertility. Other donors post resumes highlighting their most desirable traits, including one titled Mr. Family Starter, who said he is a highly approachable, personable, energetic professional with a diverse background delivering exemplary service. His listed hobbies include axe throwing and bungee jumping. Another man posted describing himself as 26 years old, artistic, driven, passionate, and ambitious. Originally from Albania, 6 feet 2 inches, athletic body, love hiking, sports, healthy, no known health conditions. He received more than 100 comments on his posts. Women are split. For some, the Facebook group has been a lifeline for having the child they always wanted, while others have been traumatized by online interactions with lewd men taking advantage of them. Ms. Nicole said that while getting to know donors online, they would ask irrelevant and creepy questions like what she was wearing. It took her and her wife 6 months to find a donor, after very many failed conversations that wanted natural insemination, Ms. Nicole told DailyMail.com. She said, "We were very assertive and said we really want to do AI. But they'll try to say, oh, this is better. This is gonna work, but I think it's just their own gratification." The sperm donation community essentially regulates itself, and the onus is on the recipient to ask and sometimes pay for STI tests, sort out what documentation the donor will provide, as well as how much contact, if any, the donor will have with the child. The advantages of the unregulated practice are that most donors offer their sperm for free, and recipients can communicate with their chosen donor throughout the process. But the risks are grave, Dr. Beckley said. The men could be infected with any STI like AIDS. HIV would probably the worst one. STDs can make a woman infertile. It's a huge, huge risk. It also depends on how long ago they took that testing. If you took an STI test and had unprotected intercourse...
Whatever, okay. Fine, dandy, whatever. STD, they wouldn't, the article's the article. That's, is the Daily Mail, right? That's not the point. 2 points. Women are so desperate. They're going out there on Facebook and going into private group and shit like that and dealing with sperm and stuff like that because why? 30 G's. Bitch. See, women are cheap. They cheap creatures. You can go to a sperm bank and get pregnant. 30 G's. Bitch. 30 G's. Cough it up. Pay them money. But they don't want to pay them money. They want shit for free or cheap and shit. So they don't want to pay them money. Right? They go in a dark, whatever group and stuff like that. Trying to get stuff for cheaper. My other point that I was trying to make out here, and I totally forgot, and just bear with me, because I got these the sperm going up and down and stuff like that on my screen, so it's kind of distracting, to be honest. It was another point that I was trying to make here, and the sperm just going up and down on my eyeballs and shit. You guys probably thinking the same thing too. What's up with the sperm going up there, going like this? Don't mind me. I'm crazy. Truth shit. My other point that, oh my God, fuck that. See, that's the problem with me, man. I started doing these podcasts, and then the whole thing just go to hell in a handbasket, just like everything else out here. God damn it, shit. Everything's going down to hell in a handbasket, and we don't know what the fuck is going on out there with sperm and these bitches. No want to pay no money, and these fucking simp ass motherfuckers out there donating shit. Oh, back to the point. These people out there, especially men, out there on Facebook and trying to get these bitches pregnant or getting them pregnant and shit like that. These men are fucking idiots. Useless idiots, simp ass motherfuckers, to be honest. If these men do not think that the law is going to come after them with child support, they got something in the noodle that it don't register. They're naive or idiots or dumbasses. You cannot do that in today's society. You cannot get a fucking bitch pregnant at all. At all. And look, not at all, for heaven's sake. And donating your shit and having communication with this bitch out there, and he's like, they are the best ones and stuff. These men are fucking useless idiots, or risk takers, or genius. Maybe they want to populate the earth. Maybe. But if you know women's behavior, that maybe they talk to daddy government. Who's the kids of these father right? Are you applying for food stamps and shit like that? Who's the father? Who's the father right there? Oh, it's a sperm donor. He live out there in Utah. Oh, Utah. Well, guess what? It's good for this. Maybe the Utah motherfucker has so many kids they can't even collect child support. He probably know the game better than anybody else. But let's say these idiots, they follow this trend, never had children and shit. And they get a bitch pregnant, like, oh, these so-and-so, where you got this sperm donor? Oh, out there in Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina, whatever out there, the fuck United States, Alabama, Mississippi, California, whatever. Oh, you got it from what? Oh, okay. Let's collect this money. Money. True shit. True fucking shit. These motherfuckers, I don't know what the fuck they thinking. Big Daddy government is going to go out there and collect their money. Especially when a woman cry foul. Meaning the resources have emptied and shit like that. They're gonna pressure the women. The women say, "Oh, I got this from this individual right there. Oh, do you know you can do this stuff like that and collect this, and we get our piece, and you get your little piece, and these motherfuckers." That's how the system is built. Take it or leave it. Been there, done that. But like I said previously, when you see idiots doing shit like this, donating their own sperm and shit like that for free, at the end it's going to come back to them. It is. Especially with the internet nowadays and shit. Back in the days without internet, you can get a bitch pregnant from fucking New York, fuck her and shit like that, get her pregnant, and you can live in fucking Arizona. And you never know the kid, you had a kid. But we're not in that age right now. We're in the internet age and shit. But regardless of anything, what my observation with this article and doing this podcast, like I said previously, men are getting very aware of the situation they are living in today's society. Men are not dumb. Men are very smart. It takes them time. Because, men nature, that's who they are, protective and shit like that. So when they no longer are the protector, they're going to say, you know what? I got to protect myself. But it's still the protector of themselves. Men are very aware. Especially these young cats. They're very aware of the surroundings dealing with female nature. Do not underestimate these young men. They are very aware of female nature and how they behave. So what I'm trying to say with this article is at least men are getting aware of the situation. But of course, not all men are created equal. You're going to have idiots donating their own shit for whatever reason they feel like it. But for the most part of men, I don't think in today's society they will behave in that nature. Only a small minority of men will go out there and try to get a chick pregnant. Because men are aware of the situation they are facing. Like I said previously, they knew somebody in their family, friends, or whatever. They got burned, got fucked. You know, the same shit that we talked about for years and shit like that. So men nowadays they fucking aware of the surroundings. To be honest. So this article is not all bad. What I took it is that women are fucking desperate as fucking shit. They have to go on some kind of group out there on Facebook because they can afford the money. You gotta pay the piper. Meaning sperm bank. You gotta pay them. But they can't afford it. And they waited too fucking long. The wall is limited. 30 for women. Any women listening to this shit, I'm going to give you the best advice. Do not have children after you 30. Do it in your 20s, do it in your teens and shit. Don't do it at your 30s. Well, gentlemen, this has been my podcast for tonight. Thank you for hanging out with me out here in the Pacific Northwest. I appreciate you very much. And like I always say, peace, stay MGTOW. I'll definitely catch you next podcast, live stream, or video. Let the universe be with you, my friends.